Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Gastly for July 7th for Max Mondays. Let's get it started. All right, for our July Max Monday schedule, we have Gastly for the 7th, Whalmer for the 14th, Darumaka for the 21st, and Kabuto for the 28th. So, as normal, we have two new Pokemon and two returning Pokemon as the what we would call the showcase for each of the weeks. And for right now, Gastly, which honestly is still very, very important to the meta. All right, Gastly, in the form you're going to be fighting, is weak to Dark, Ghost, Ground, and Psychic. So choosing any of those four will definitely give you your best opportunity of taking it down quickly, but it is pretty weak in general. But uniquely, it is very strong to Fairy and Grass at 37.5% resistance, 60.9% resistance, bug, normal, and poison, and 75.6% fighting. It is still one of the best, if not the best, fighting damage sponges and tanks that we have. Well, Gengar is at least. And that's due to its unique dark or ghost and poison. It should be dark and ghost, just because we need more dark, but it is ghost and poison. And the CP that you're looking for is 702 for the hundo, and 649 is going to be the floor at 10, 10, 10. And you can see its stats. It's incredibly high in attack, especially for such a small form. But because its defense and stamina are quite low compared to the attack, it is actually the one of the fastest to take down, and that's saying something considering it's one or two. Gengar has the same strengths and weaknesses. Its evolution is a little expensive, 125 candy total. But if you've got a friend that you don't mind trading Haunters with, then you can trade it for free. But it will take quite a while to get good IVs, and this is one of the few that still highly suggest, because Gengar is actually one of the best dark attackers for Dynamax, and it's still very important. The only better one is Urshifu. And honestly, it is still incredibly hard to get Urshifu upgraded still. And so Gengar is probably going to be King of the Hill or King of the Dark for quite a bit. Gengar's stats is incredibly high in attack. Its defense and stamina are below average, but due to its very strong resistances of bug, normal, poison, and fighting, it is a Pokemon that we do use as tanks just because the resistances give it so much opportunity to actually withstand a lot of the damage. For fast moves, it has three 5.5-second moves. Lick is not really necessary. That requires an elite fast TM. But it does have Sucker Punch and Shadow Claw for Dark and Ghost. Ghost type is 20% more powerful because it is the same type of element. But for most trainers that are using Dynamax Gengar, they're going to be using the Dark 0.5 second because, as I said, it is one of the strongest Dark out there. And with the Gmax Gengar, if you have a Gmax Gengar, you're going to want to be using that as the Ghost, while the Dmax is the Dark. For the charge moves that you're going to go through, it's not really all that necessary to be worried about it, as you're going to be able to get through the battle really, really quickly. Let's go through the damage capability. For Dark, it is by far the second strongest Dark attack. It is 57% stronger than Greedent. Or if you take a look, it's about 28%, 29% stronger than Blastoise. Urshifu is another step above, 29% stronger than Gengar, up to 40%. And it's the same thing, Gengar to Blastoise. Blastoise attack is actually also 0.5 seconds, but they have completely different elements that they're strong too. Overall, though, Gengar is probably currently most trainers' strongest Dark, as Urshifu single requires 30 Dark raids wins as a buddy to be able to evolve. And right now, that's been really, really difficult, as the only consistent rates that we've had so far, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But since we're talking about it now, is Murkrow for Shadows, F for 1 star for normal raids, and Shadow Eye for our max raids. And right now we've had a lot of I've had a lot of issues finding them in max raids because there's now so many Pokemon that can be in there. They're just way too spread out, and I'm still around 10 short of getting my Urshifu upgraded so far. Damage capability Ghost. Sableye is the only other unit right now, and Sableye is very weak compared to Gengar and Gmax Gengar. And, as I say, I still fight Sableye just for Urshifu, but for Ghost, Gengar is the best. D-Max is only the second best. If you have a G-Max, you're going to focus primarily on G-Max, as it's just so strong overall. For the battle plan for Gastly, it's simple. Just avoid its resistances. It's got really low HP compared to its attack, so it seems like it's even smaller than it should be. I suggest using a Metagross or an Excadrill, but honestly, if you have a Gengar, you can use that as well. And that will just absolutely destroy the Gastly within the first transformation, or even before the first transformation. Gengar, Ghost and Dark. As a Ghost type, it is honestly the attacker. It's only beaten by itself. And so Dynamax is just behind the Gigantamax in the Ghost category. As a tank and healer, I have it neutral only because it's kind of cheating, since the Ghost is really just Gengar. And honestly, you're not using it as a tank or healer to fight Ghosts specifically because of its weaknesses. But that's the problem with Ghosts. Ghosts are weak to Ghosts. So it's a weird one to go over. But for Dark, still a great attacker. Only Urshifu single strike is stronger, but the annoyance of its transformation is quite up there. As a tank and healer, it's pretty poor, but there are worse Darks out there. And as I say, as an overall attacker, it's either a 9 or a 10, depending if it's on the Dynamax or Gigantamax form. For the Dynamax, it's a 9. Tank is up there because in general, and this is like the only groupings of Pokemon that are different in that regards, Gengar has some great tanking abilities, but not in its element. It's Ghost types are weird, where Ghost types are strong against Ghost types, and the only other ones that are going to be like that generally are Dragons as well. So it's actually quite a useful tank, just not in its element. And healer, it's a little bit below average, but it still can be. You really shouldn't focus anything on healing on that unless it's an absolute emergency. And interesting enough, it's a poison type, but it doesn't have any poison fast attacks, and we still really need a poison fast attack, and it would make Gengar even more powerful for a Dynamax if it had the ability to fight in poison, but it just doesn't, so it's not included. Is it worth it for you? The answer is simply yeah. The only reason it's not worth it for you is you've already got your hundo and you're not really interested in fighting anymore. I'll probably do a couple. They're fun. And I love Gengar. Actually, if you are a friend of mine, you know that my character is dressed out fully in Gengar gear with a Gengar backpack, and I even sometimes carry around a Gengar backpack during events. So this is one of my favorite Pokemon. And if you don't have its Gmax, then it's really the strongest in 2 of the 2 elements. Because as I say, I know most trainers, Urshifu single is nowhere near fully transformed. And even though it's a glass cannon, it has very strong resistances, and it can be used as a tank as well. Especially when you use like 1 shield and then attack the other 2 times, it will take a punch for a very long time. So for the Urshifu hunt, what to look for July 7th, we really haven't seen any differences than normal here. We have our Murkrow and Sableye for single strike, and Rapid Strike, Swirl, Krabby Sobble, and Lapras. The Lapras and Murkrow are Shadows raids only. Murkrow is a 1-star, Lapras is 3. For Rapid Strike, I just highly suggest that you look for the D-Max raids. you have Squirtle, Krabby, and Sobble. And that also includes, in case you see like what we did during GoFest, you saw Sobble's Inteleon form for Gmax. That would have also worked as well if you had it as a buddy. But, and actually, I was too focused on my Celebi, so I forgot to do that for my Urshifu, and that was my fault. But all in all, that just hasn't changed at all. And for the 14th, we do have one change. We do have Mega Blastoise raids, which honestly, I'm probably going to do a couple because I just don't have the Mega Blastoise candy anymore. And one of my annoyances, and at some point when I have time, I'm going to do a rant about how our buddy system is just too full on stuff that needs to be done. And honestly, I just would rather spend a couple of passes to get the mega energy that I need so I can make sure that I can mega my Blastoise whenever I like to. And also, honestly, I'm hoping for a hundo because I just can't get a good Squirtle or Blastoise at all. And I do not know what the shadow rates are for July for the 1 and 3 star. We know the 5 stars Registeel, that's not going to help us at all, as obviously it's just a steel type. But when I do, we will update that probably for Whalmer. And with that, that's all I've got for this week. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. If you've got any questions, comments, concerns, comment down below. I usually do my best. Last week, I lost power and kind of got way behind and way over my head with that. And I am kind of back up to where I should be now. So I do apologize for that. But honestly, that was out of my control as a heat wave just blew through the East Coast and we were just struggling to keep the power on. And with that, you're going to see a few more videos this week than normal because I do have a backlog. I still have to make some of them, and my goal is to try to catch up by the end of next week. And with that, I will do better next time, and I'll see you all later. Bye.